Okay, so we're jumping straight into something that's really causing some waves across India's sporting world right now. We're talking about the current hold on the Indian Super League's, the ISL's 2025-26 season. And look, this isn't just about the football itself, the game. It's much deeper. We're going to unpack the complex contracts, the governance issues, and really how this ripples out and affects, well, everyone involved. Our mission today, using the reports and summaries you've given us, especially from ISLissues.pdf, is to dig into the why. Why the headlines, and what does it actually mean for the teams, the players, and of course the fans who live and breathe this league. Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah, it's quite something. It really shows how fast a big league can hit, well, a major roadblock because of underlying contracts. And the ISL, just for a bit of context, it is India's top professional football league. Usually runs September to April, started back in 2014, huge potential, lots of growth. But now, this massive uncertainty about the next season, it's actually a fascinating situation, a real case study of commercial interests bumping up against regulatory hurdles.
Definitely. And the main reason, the sort of core issue for this hold, as the sources make pretty clear, it's these unresolved contract problems. Specifically, this one document keeps coming up, the Master Rights Agreement, the MRA. This is the big agreement between Football Sports Development Limited, FSDL, they run the league, and the All India Football Federation, the AIFF, who govern things.
Absolutely. That MRA is the bedrock. It goes back to 2010 originally, and it lays out FSDL's payment Rs 50 crore every year to the AIFF for the rights, basically, broadcast management, commercial stuff. But here's the kicker, and honestly, it's something you see sometimes with these long deals, maybe not enough focus on the what next. The agreement runs out in December 2025, expires, and there's just nothing solid in place for after that, no agreed plan. So FSDL literally can't plan the 2025-26 season. They can't organize it. It's like trying to sell tickets for a concert when you don't even know if you have the venue booked next year.
Wow. And then bang, the official news. The sources confirm it. League officially put on hold July 12th, 2025. And the clubs and the AIFF, they were told just the day before, July 11th. So for many of us following, this feels sudden, but it sounds like the seeds of this problem were planted a while back.
Oh, absolutely. The MRA might be the central piece, but as you look closer, there were other issues adding to the blockage. Another big factor complicating things was the AIFF actually leaving the ISL off its calendar for 2025-26. That news came out back in June 2025. So that was an early warning sign, wasn't it? Hinting that things weren't right.
Right, yeah. That adds another layer of, what's going on here? And then on top of that, there was a Supreme Court ruling, also in June 2025. The reports we have suggest this ruling basically stopped the AIFF from making any big new agreements because of some ongoing case about their constitution. You can see how that would just slam the brakes on finalizing a new MRA, right?
Exactly. It's like needing to sign a critical contract, but you're legally barred from putting pen to paper.
Just impossible timing.
Precisely. And, while all this is happening, there's talk of a potential solution, the new structure, a proposal for a new holding company. The idea, quite interesting actually, was clubs get 60% equity, FSDL 26%, and AIFF 14%. But, and this is the crucial part of you, those talks, they haven't been finalized. They're still just talks. So even with a possible way forward suggested, because there's no final agreement, everyone's still stuck, still in limbo. It does make you wonder, with so much on the line, why they couldn't get that across the finish line.
Yeah, it's frustrating to hear. So, okay, we've got these big picture legal and structural problems. But who actually feels the impact? Let's talk about the people, the stakeholders, the clubs, the players, and the fans. For the clubs, it must be chaotic. They just can't plan anything, can they? Player signings, training, budgets all up in the air. How do you get sponsors or investors interested when you don't even know if you'll have a season? It must really hurt their ability to compete, to keep their best players, or attract new ones.
Oh, definitely. And for the players themselves, it's their careers on the line. Huge uncertainty. Think about players whose contracts are up in 2025. What do? They can't negotiate new deals. They can't plan moves. Doesn't matter if they're Indian players or from overseas. They're just stuck. And beyond the contracts, it messes up their whole rhythm, their training, their fitness, their mental state. Imagine being a young player, finally breaking through, and then the nothing. That could have really serious long-term effects.
Absolutely brutal. And then the fans. You can just picture it, can't you? All that excitement building up for the season, getting your jersey ready, and then indefinite postponement. The sources talk about the disappointment, obviously. No matches to watch. But more than that, This kind of long delay, this uncertainty, it could really damage the league's popularity, couldn't it? Less engagement, maybe fans drifting away. It weakens everything the league was trying to build for football in India. That silence from the stands is a big deal.
And stepping back a bit, this whole situation is not just about Indian football, is it? It's a really clear example, globally really, of how commercial interests, FSDL here, and the governing bodies, the AIFF, need to work together smoothly. When you have governance problems, it can seriously hold back the growth, the health of a major sports league. This isn't trivial. It affects a whole foundation.
That's a really important perspective. So the need for a solution is obviously urgent. Critical, even.
Yeah.
Our sources stress this getting things sorted is key for the money side, for developing players, for keeping the fans on board. But realistically, given everything we just talked about, the MRA mess, the court ruling, the unfinished company talks, how quickly can this get resolved? Because as of July 12th, there's no timeline, is there? Everyone's just waiting. And this really awkward holding pattern.
That's the tough part. There's no easy fix apparent right now. Ultimately, the bottom line is clear. The ISL 2025-26 season is on hold. Why? A mix of unresolved contracts, especially that MRA, plus these wider governance issues in Indian football. It really just highlights how urgently they need to find a way through this, to protect the league's future and its role in Indian sport. The clock is definitely ticking.
So there we have it. We've covered the key things. That MRA agreement at the heart of it, the other factors making it worse, like the calendar and the court ruling and the very real human cost for clubs, players, and fans. As you digest all this, maybe just think about that balance, In any big venture, especially sports, you've got fan passion, player careers, big money invested. And it can all hinge on the details in legal documents and how well the whole thing is governed. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Could clearer rules and maybe more foresight in how these things are structured prevent this kind of widespread disruption? Something to think about. We definitely encourage you to keep exploring these kinds of complex stories in sports or anywhere else. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive today.